If you've been keeping an eye on the transportation industry, you've likely heard about the recent turmoil surrounding Yellow Corp, one of America's largest less-than-truckload carriers. Today, we're delving deep into this heated situation and exploring the clash between Yellow Corp and the powerful international brotherhood of Teamsters. Throughout this video, we'll cover the key players involved, why Yellow Corp is suing Teamsters for $137 million, and the potential consequences that could arise if the company faces bankruptcy. It's a story that not only affects the trucking industry, but also over 30,000 employees and other companies tied to Yellow Corp's operations. Let's first take a look at the company at the center of the debate, Yellow Corp. As one of the largest less-than-truckload carriers, Yellow Corp plays a vital role in the transportation industry. Yellow Corp, listed on the Nasdaq as YELL, has a rich history that dates back decades. With its extensive network and fleet of trucks, Yellow Corp specializes in the efficient movement of smaller freight shipments. However, Yellow Corp has encountered its fair share of challenges. Like many companies in the industry, it has faced financial struggles and the need to adapt to an ever-changing market. In an effort to survive and remain competitive, Yellow Corp has embarked on an ambitious restructuring plan known as One Yellow. This plan involves consolidating their 4 LTL operating companies, closing redundant terminals, and redefining work rules for some drivers, among other changes. But these proposed operational changes have been met with resistance, leading to a contentious standoff with the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. Teamsters is one of the largest and most influential labor unions in the United States, representing a wide range of workers across various industries. The Teamsters has a significant presence, especially when it comes to the trucking industry. They are supposed to advocate for the rights and interests of truck drivers and other employees, negotiating collective bargaining agreements, and working to ensure fair wages, benefits, and working conditions. For years, the IBT has been involved in negotiations with Yellow Corp, striving to protect the rights of their members and secure favorable terms for their contracts. While the union has made concessions in the past, they have reached a point where they believe they cannot make further sacrifices at the expense of their members. The IBT's role in this dispute is crucial, as they stand firm in their opposition to the proposed operational changes that Yellow Corp seeks to implement. They argue that these changes would violate the current collective bargaining agreement and adversely affect their members' livelihoods. Yellow Corp has been pushing for operational changes as part of their One Yellow restructuring plan. The company argues that these changes are essential to reduce costs, improve efficiency, and compete with non-union carriers. On the other hand, the Teamsters have staunchly opposed these proposed changes. They claim that the proposed changes would require an excessive number of utility positions, which would require drivers to work freight on the docks at various locations. The union believes that their members have already made significant concessions in the past, including wage, benefits, and pension concessions, and they are unwilling to accept further changes that could adversely impact their members. Despite negotiations between Yellow Corp and the Teamsters, a resolution has proven elusive. The union argues that they have honored their current collective bargaining agreement, which is set to expire next year. They maintain that the proposed changes violate the existing agreement, while Yellow Corp asserts that they have the exclusive right to make operational decisions and implement the necessary changes. This deadlock has had far-reaching consequences for Yellow Corp and the entire transportation industry. The company has suffered significant market share losses, with tonnage declining by approximately 33% over the past 2 years. These losses are attributed to the challenges Yellow Corp faces in operating under the current work rules and the inability to implement the proposed changes. With the dispute at a stalemate, the future remains uncertain for Yellow Corp, its employees, and the broader implications for the trucking industry. Yellow Corp's desperate situation led them to reach out to the highest levels of government, including President Biden, who has helped corporations fight against union demands in the past. In a letter addressed to the president, Yellow Corp pleaded for assistance in resolving their labor dispute with the Teamsters and averting a potential disaster. Yellow Corp expressed frustration with the lack of progress in negotiations, stating, Quote, "Despite support from your administration, these efforts have proven unsuccessful at getting both sides to the table to discuss a way forward." The company emphasized that they are on the verge of closing their doors due to the ongoing labor dispute. The letter outlined the dire financial circumstances faced by Yellow Corp, indicating that their business plan has been frozen, resulting in market share losses and an inability to secure additional lending for day-to-day operations. Yellow Corp currently holds $1.5 billion in debt and lease financing obligations, with $1.3 billion of that amount due next year. Of particular concern is a controversial COVID relief loan from the US Treasury totaling $700 million, which carries a 30% equity stake in Yellow Corp. The letter warns that if the company goes under, this equity stake would be wiped out, jeopardizing the government's investment. Furthermore, Yellow Corp highlights the potential job losses associated with their predicament. The company claims that 30,000 jobs, including 22,000 Teamster jobs, are at risk. Additionally, they emphasize that their $5.2 billion in annual revenue supports another 57,000 jobs in various sectors. They seek his intervention to help facilitate discussions and find a way forward that protects jobs and ensures the viability of their operations. The letter serves as a stark reminder for the high stakes involved and the potential ramifications that extend beyond Yellow Corp itself. The labor dispute between Yellow Corp and the Teamsters has shed light on a history of mismanagement and a perceived lack of support for its employees. Let's delve into some of the key instances that have raised concerns regarding Yellow Corp's handling of its operations and its treatment of its workforce. Yellow Corp has faced financial struggles and operational challenges in the past. Reports indicate that the company has been burdened with a significant amount of debt, with $1.3 billion of that due next year. Furthermore, the company's enterprise value has suffered a steep decline, largely attributed to its share price plummeting from over $14 to approximately $1. The company's financial situation has raised questions about its ability to navigate the changing landscape of the transportation industry. Yellow Corp's restructuring plan, known as One Yellow, was designed to address these challenges and position the company for long-term success. However, its implementation has been met with that resistance, exacerbating the strain on Yellow Corp's financial health. Another area of concern is the perceived lack of support for its employees. The Teamsters union has accused Yellow Corp of seeking excessive concessions from its workforce. They argue that their members have already made significant sacrifices in the form of wage benefit and pension concessions in the past. The union contends that they cannot bear the burden of further challenges that could adversely impact their livelihoods. The labor dispute between Yellow Corp and the Teamsters has had far-reaching implications not only for Yellow Corp but also for other companies operating in the transportation industry. Analysts have been evaluating the impact of the labor dispute on Yellow Corp and the industry as a whole. Amit Mathura, an analyst from Deutsche Bank, stated that other carriers in the industry have the capacity to take on additional freight, and he believes that the event could lead to an industry-wide increase in less than truckload rates. Yellow Corp's decline has also attracted attention from congressional oversight. A report from the Congressional Oversight Commission overseeing the 2020 COVID relief lending program highlighted mistakes made by the government agencies during the approval process of Yellow Corp's $700 million Treasury loan. The report recommended the unwinding of the government's debt and equity holdings in the company. The Teamsters' resistance to the proposed changes and their firm stance against further concessions has created uncertainty and potential disruptions in the trucking industry. The loss of a major less than truckload carrier like Yellow Corp could lead to disruptions in the transportation of goods and services, affecting businesses that rely on smooth flow of logistics. Yellow Corp's bankruptcy would also have implications for its creditors and stakeholders. The company's $1.3 billion debt would need to be addressed, and the process of liquidation and restructuring would involve negotiations and settlements with various parties involved. The outcome of a Yellow Corp bankruptcy would be complex and would require careful consideration and decision-making to mitigate the potential negative effects on employees, the industry, and the economy at large. Before we wrap up, we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Have you been personally affected by labor disputes in the industry before? What are your current thoughts on the challenges faced by Yellow Corp in the Teamsters? How do you think the outcome of this dispute could impact the trucking industry as a whole? We appreciate your insights and perspective. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with industry news and discussions. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.